What up, guys? Hope you're good. Let us analyze the market once again for this upcoming week. Apologies for not really recording for the previous week, and yeah, we just had a lot of things happening, but we're just gonna come back stronger. So a lot has happened in the market, and I believe the market has literally moved quite significantly. This upcoming week, we're going to be seeing a lot of news, a lot of movement, because we have FOMC coming out on Wednesday. We have the JPY BOJ Outlook report coming out on Friday, as well as the press conference that will move the JPY index. And those are the only two main pays or main market news that I'd be looking forward to. But yeah, let's just hit it in the charts and let us see what is it that is happening and what has happened before. So you can see currently that price is quite bearish. I believe this was a high, and then price from there created lows, lower low, lows, and then it changed to higher lows, higher highs, and then price broke, came back to the supply area, dropped, right? Now what we're currently looking forward to or anticipating is that price is going to correct to the next supply area before it can decide to drop, meaning that we're anticipating that the FOMC might push the market to the top before it drops, or it can just switch and change the direction of the trend to continue to be bullish. So we're just going to be marking our zones on daily, then dropping down to 4 hourly to see what is it that the market has shown or given us. This is literally the structure we have, or the two levels that you have on daily, but I will also be adding this zone itself, because that's going to be our supply zone that we're looking forward to the market coming back to. So then dropping down to 4 hourly, you will see that the market has been pushing to the top, giving us a bit of a double bottom here. And that on its own, for those that trade double bottoms, you would have gotten more of a signal to say that the dollars are pushing to the top, as price came back to retest the double bottom neckline and push to the top. But 4 hourly, we're still bearish. Nothing has changed. We never broke the recent lower high, and I believe this is where the recent lower high is going to be for me and our 4H supply zone. So while that also is something we need to look at, but we also need to see that should price break above and start pushing to the top, daily is still bearish, and then the next zone we could be looking forward to would be the supply area, and on 4 hourly it's becoming a bit of a bigger zone. I think on the dollar index, that could be all, because 1 hour is still pushing to the top, and we cannot also base our trades on the 1 hour trend, because now it can simply change within a day. And I think we're just gonna be waiting for a very long time on this one. But since the market has also been introduced to some volatility or some crazy movement, we might see this happening next week, where it will be doing something like this. Or another thing that it could do to trap people, it could act as if it's dropping, only for it to spike to the top and then drop to the downside. I think that would be it for the dollar index. Now moving to the Japanese yen index, the pullback happened. It was a pullback, a long needed pullback, a long awaited needed pullback. As you can see on daily, we have been bearish since the beginning of this year, and price moved. But from there, from its movement, we found resistance somewhere here, and from there, that's when we started seeing bearish momentum. So daily, that's what happened. let us then drop down to 4 hourly and see what is 4 hour doing. So 4 hourly, you will be seeing that the market is somehow showing bearish movement after breaking below this recent higher low. This is a higher low and higher high. Price broke, created a new low, then came back to give us a double top, and now continue to give us more continued lows. So with the current market and where the market is, all I can say is that you can be able to pick up the fact that just right here we have a lower high, and that's a 4H lower high, as well as the 4H lower low here. And for those that are trading support and resistance, you can be anticipating that the market might, and I mean might, come back to that zone. But also we need to also consider the fact that the market is currently holding on to the support zone, and that also means that if the market breaks here, we might find a retest and to the downside. But if it doesn't, we're going to be looking forward to or anticipating the market coming back here and dropping to the downside. But also not forgetting that we do have a supply zone just at the top here that could also act as more of a way to trap those who have entered a little bit too early. So you find yourself entering here, the market might spike to come back here to drop. That's also note that I'm just talking about entering here in the pairs affected by this yen index. So that could be it, and that's all from the yen index, targeting these zones down here, which would be calling them our possible reaction zones. And I believe that's all with the yen index. Now moving on to the pairs, we're going to start with dollar yen, USD JPY, and as you can see on daily, somehow daily looked like it did break structure, because this was our higher low and price moved to the top, right? And daily now is at a point where it's confusing that the only two zones I'd be looking at would be this low and that high, and also the fact that we do have a supply zone at the top there. And then now from there, I just need to drop down to 4 hourly just to see what the market is doing on 4 hour. But as you can see, then when you drop down to 4 hourly, this was something that I saw last week before, I think Monday before, but a lot of manipulation happened where the market was taking us out. You can see that it acted as if it was breaking above, but the 4 hour candle never closed. Somehow it was a little bit above here, came back down, now pushed to the top, now started giving us higher lows and higher highs. So then now you can see that this is our recent high low on a 4 hourly perspective, and giving us this leaving us with this demand zone at the bottom here. Now what is it that we're anticipating to see the market doing? I'm gonna just mark this zone as a possible reaction zone, and also fix this supply area that is on a daily time frame. I'm anticipating that price is going to come back. That price might come back to the demand zone before pushing to the top, just targeting the 140 area. And that will also make more sense when I drop down to 1 hourly, and you will see that still it is coming back down to this. It could be also coming back down to this break and retest just here. And I'm not going to be forcing anything. We're just going to be waiting to see if the market will react when it gets here to push the top, or it will be trying to hit the 4 hour demand before pushing to the top. But if it doesn't now react to this and start going down, we'll be waiting for price to create new supply areas and resistance zones before it can drop to the downside. But then yeah, that's it on the current pair, which is USD JPY. Let us move to the next one, and the next one I believe will have to be CAD JPY, and I'm just gonna be focused on the 4-hourly one, just giving you the structure right here. You will see that we were quite bearish up until price came back to break above this recent lower high, creating a high here and a higher low, and currently that is our 1H higher low. If now I show you that this is a 1H higher low, you can already see or tell by now that there is a demand zone, just like the dollar index, not the dollar index, the USD JPY, that we could be anticipating that price will come back to. And looking at this, it's a 4H demand, also marking my 4H higher low. And from there, this has already been, price has reacted to this. So I'll be looking to the next one, which is here, and then the second one, which is there. And those are my possible reaction zone. And now I'm also anticipating one thing, that price is gonna try and push down here, and we're gonna see price doing something similar to this. Then 1 hour can also support what I have to say, and there's nothing more we'll have to analyze because it's the same as the dollar yen. Now moving down to JPY, GBP JPY. This pair has been one of the craziest pair this week. One of the craziest pair this week that I've seen, and because now what it did was it did work structure, created a new high and a high low here, but at that point in time I thought this was my higher low, and it went, as you can see, it was spiking up and down, faking out, only to find out that this was our recent low, because price broke up here to create a high, and this was our low, and now we were trapped on the downside of it. So now, as you can see, that price did have a high, which is here. I believe that you can already tell that this would have to be our higher low, our low, in fact, not our higher low. Now, in fact, because price created a high and went down, this is a high low, this is a high. So for hourly, we are now bullish, as we have anticipated. I think that because I didn't send out a video last week to show you that this is what we're anticipating, now we can tell that 4 hour is bullish. But with that being said, also when 4 hour is bullish, it leaves a demand area just down here. So we could be seeing a lot of JPY pairs pulling down, market open Monday, Tuesday, and then seeing them just moving to the top. So that's currently what we have. This might also break to the top, come back to move, or it might come back to the demand zone and move. My possible reaction zones or my target areas would be this one and the next one, which I believe it's like 100 pips between both of them. So it would really be a very good tradable opportunity. Then moving to the last one, which is the pound dollar, which is GBP USD. GBP USD on 4 hourly, on daily, very bullish, with our higher low being down here and a high being up there. But with the momentum pushing to the downside, we're anticipating that price can either come back to this zone, or it could be coming back to somewhere just like this, because we would have been anticipating that price would come back just to this to do a break and retest, but it looks like it is pushing to the downside. But let's drop down to 4 hourly and see what is it that is happening and what we would anticipate to see. So this already was a recent structure that was broken, creating a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and this is our lower low. But now if we were to push to the downside furthermore, we'd be looking to forward to price coming back to this possible reaction zone